Hey everybody, this is Dr. Flight. I hope you are doing well. This is just going to be a real quick week 11 roundup. We're in the final couple weeks of the course, and in terms of content, anyways. And so, what we'll do this week is tackle some topics relating to pricing. So pricing and the pricing philosophies, I guess, and models that we use when we do pricing. If you take a look at the Moodle page and the work that we have, there are a number of different videos just introducing the role of pricing in the firm, and the different contexts of analyzing the pricing situation, where we look at competitors, pressures, internal costs, customers, and some of the goals that the organization will have. Then we really focus on both cost-based pricing, which is the method of pricing that most firms use, identifying cost of the product or service and then adding on some type of profit margin to form price. Or the other type of pricing philosophy, I guess, or types of pricing models associated with demand-based pricing. So demand-based pricing, and that we look at the demand curve of the marketplace and then form strategy around it. And there are literally dozens and dozens of different pricing strategies that can be used. Typically, though, they're based on, again, a cost-based pricing strategy or a demand-based pricing strategy when we look at the market. However, there are a lot of other factors that play in making that decision to set price. Largely, pricing habit and tradition of the organization, the position the organization wants to place itself in the product market space. So positioning, and certainly competitive pressures, seeing what competitors have to offer and looking at our price relative to theirs. There are some interesting readings to go along with the text. For the week, again, our primary text doesn't really have a chapter devoted just for pricing. The supplemental text, which is a Principles of Textbook, does. So if you're interested in seeing that, reviewing that anyways, that wouldn't be a bad idea. There's also a chapter called Pricing in the Marketing Mix, which is a super, super good chapter. It's not very long, but it really does cover this topic pretty well from a text type of perspective. Some applications that I think you'll find interesting deal with dynamic pricing and the ability to change and alter price by customer. Largely, dynamic pricing is driven by demand-based pricing. So there's an article, it's a Sloan Business School article called How to Reap Higher Benefits or Higher Profits with Dynamic Pricing. Again, it's a good overview of how prices will change and shift depending on demand. And then Uber and surge pricing is a great, again, application of that. And then finally, the JETS article that just gives an idea or a view of auctioning products, which again is a pricing mechanism where we let prices shift or change. Okay, so this week, again, pricing model is developed and we look at a couple different pricing philosophies and then applications, especially with dynamic pricing. So exciting week, lots of good information there. Let me know if you have any questions. Also, I guess we'll just let me pull over our kind of detailed schedule for the week for week 11. Pull this, show you what we got here. Again, we've got this chapters in the text. Uber, with surge pricing and Uber kind of go together. Auction pricing here. You probably want to, I would recommend reading that Sloan article first, and then those others will fall into place for you quite nicely. As always, we have a weekly reflection that we'll do. We'll also have the online course. We'll have a discussion question, and it relates to dynamic pricing in sensitive price categories. So I think it should be an interesting discussion, actually. Further on down the road, later next week, or this week, I guess, the 16th, project part 4. So I guess next week we'll be hitting on that. And then our final case is due in December 13th. So I know we just finished up the third case, and the Harvest Sun chip case, which is an interesting case because Harvest Sun, the chips exist. They're a product that we know and love today. However, this is like the OG story for that particular product. So that's an interesting one in and of itself. Okay, so these are kind of where we're going. We've got a couple more weeks after this of content. One will work with supply chain and interfirm relationships, so supply chain channel design and management. Then the last one we'll wrap up with will be looking at communications. So kind of go from there. So anyways, let me know again if you have any questions. It's great touching base with you. Again, weekly roundup, just where we are and where we're going.